I just wanna be happy, 'cause I feel that rhythm bouncing through my soul. Happy, 'cause I breathe it in and then I let it go. Happy, 'cause trouble, man, bounces off my chest. Happy, we all know that feeling is the very best. Let's go on a little tour of the west coast of Canada, starting right here at Horseshoe Bay, where we hopped onto one of these beautiful BC ferries. Of course, by hop on, I mean drive on. Let it take us over to Gibsons, where it's just a little skedaddle short drive up to Sechelt. There we stayed at my friend Dylan's grandparents' cottage, which they call cabins out west. And right down the road from that cabin was this beautiful beach, full of stumps and former trees, which the Pacific Ocean had said, "Hey, I don't want you anymore," and then vomited them up onto the beach in a beautiful scene. We also played some stick rock. Ashley practiced lots and lots. But I guess what they say about practice making perfect isn't always true. In the morning, the tide had gone out, and with the extra space, we indulged in some frisbee. I like frisbee. I like throwing frisbees. I like catching them, too. But when that was done, we went out to the highway and picked some wild blackberries. We all picked them. I cleaned some of them. And then Ashley made a pie. We'll call it 50-50 on the work. The next morning, we headed north of Sechelt to Lake Sackinaw. No, wait a second, that's false. But we did go down this long, beautiful rainforest trail. It was magnificent, but its name completely escapes me right now. However, we're in luck because I believe we have a live interview with NWJ. No Whiskey Jamie, take it away.
We've just done about an hour's drive from Sechelt and a 4-kilometer hike into the woods. There's some beautiful trails, and now we are at the Skookumchuck Narrows, where the tide is either on its way in or out, but a lot of water is going very fast through the area, and the kayakers are going to be taking advantage of that.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey Jamie, why are you filming a piece of poo on a trail? But look closer, that's a famous black BC giant slug guy. Hello. That's fantastic. Anyways, that pretty much wraps up our time at the Skookumchuck Narrows. I do have to say, in this next picture coming up right here, I have no idea who that kid is or why he's with us. Anybody? Off to Lake Sackinaw we go. It's a boat-in only cabin that belonged to some relatives of Dylan's. They were also kind enough to let us use their kayaks to go tooting around on the lake for a bit. We even got to see 3 turtles on a log. Now, as beautiful of a day as it was, the water was pretty cold, and I was not happy about jumping in. But that's all in the past now. The real reason we were in Vancouver was for my friend's wedding. You know how weddings go. But this one they asked me to MC. Lovers in a dangerous time. I had no idea what I was doing. But the bride seemed to enjoy it, and I'm told that that's what matters. Oh, Ashley and the chest bumps. Now here we are at Lynn Valley on a suspension bridge. It's scary. It doesn't look all that scary, but people start walking on it, and it's scary. It's fantastic. Now, after this, we went to Stanley Park, saw some big trees. Oh, that's poutine pizza. Oh, that's oysters. This is my favorite part of the movie, and now I remember that coming up are some crazy people. I can't explain it. Just watch. We decided to run like mad from there. We headed north and took a pit stop at Brome Lake Interpretive Forest. Decided to take some pictures of ourselves because nobody else was around. Well, 2 hours after leaving Vancouver, we finally made it. Whistler.
So we're at Whistler on our way ran there and took a couple pictures and came back. Now we've taken this small little foot trail off the main track.
Oh my goodness, that is a tiny frog.
I asked him what the weather was like up top, thinking it's gonna be pouring up there or snowing up there or something, and he says it's 3 degrees.
Alright, we are now on day 2 of our 2 days in Whistler. We spent most of yesterday just walking around the village and stuff, but today we've made the hike up the mountain.
So we have no footage of the chairlift up because it was so freaking scary and intimidating and like thousands of meters from our death that we were too afraid to move too much.
There's a snowstorm and it's August. There's an Inukshuk, so it's okay.
It's the Peak Express lift at the top of Whistler. If you point the camera just over here, we're actually looking down at the peak-to-peak gondola. So this is kind of the normal top of Whistler. We do a little hike down and then this very scary chairlift at the top. I wish we had filmed earlier. This part here is up above. You clear these cliff face in the chairlift, and suddenly you're hanging, I don't know, probably 200 meters or 100 meters above an open glacier gorge, and it's beautiful.
Beautiful, yes, but I was still less than thrilled about the hike that was to follow. But enough beautiful scenery, some mountain fresh air can change anybody's tune, and I was an excited boy. I was happy. I was free.
We're at the top of a cliff right now that Ashley's willing to go a lot closer to the edge than I am, but I'm urging her to please step back. I'm a full 12 feet away, as you can see. To those of you suggesting that I perhaps try and push my comfort zone, I'll let you know that I already have.
It's very intimidating to look down.
And then, suddenly, we were in God's country. It's actually called Squamish, and attached here is the Stalmus Chief, which is a giant mountain cliff face that overlooks the water. Turns out my friend Natalie lives there now with her boyfriend Alex, and they like to do this thing called bouldering, which, as you may be able to guess, involves climbing boulders. We decided to give it a try. Now, in bouldering, there's no ropes or anything like that to hold you back, so you're pretty much free to go anywhere. And for safety, you put this little mat on the ground way underneath you. It'll keep you safe. Now, bouldering's pretty tough, but we did it on this little boulder anyways. Now, this here is Alex. He's very, very good at bouldering, and I'm glad that we had him and Natalie to show us what to do, though he makes it look pretty easy. I promise you, it's a tough sport, but it is completely safe. You're never more than well, sometimes you get pretty high, I guess, actually. But that mat's supposed to be able to save you is the idea. Still, you may not want to let go when you're at the top of a really tall boulder. It's probably not a good idea. Oh yeah, we also went to a velodrome.
Everything in me right now is like this.
The velodrome was amazing, but I'll save that video for another day. In the meantime, here's me giving a tour.
It's tour time. I'm inside our hotel room right now, and this is the situation. This is the mess that I have created. Over here, made this. This is the mess that Ashley made.